China has officially showcased the YJ-20 hypersonic missile launched from a Type 052D destroyer for the first time. The latest footage signals the YJ-20 is no longer limited to China's largest Type 055 warships. Beijing is expanding deployment of its long-range anti-ship missile across a wider section of the PLA Navy. The YJ-20 is designed to strengthen China's anti-access strategy against high-value naval targets in the Indo-Pacific. The deployment marks another step in China's effort to boost long-range maritime strike capabilities. China released the first official footage showing a YJ-20 missile being launched from a Type 052D guided missile destroyer. The footage confirmed the YJ-20 is no longer limited to China's larger Type 055 destroyers, expanding its deployment across the PLA Navy. YJ-20 missile. The YJ-20 is assessed to have a strike range of about 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers, with some estimates placing it near 2,000 kilometers. The missile is reportedly capable of flying above Mach 6, with some assessments suggesting speeds approaching Mach 10. It is launched using a cold launch system, ejecting the missile before its main rocket motor ignites. The YJ-20 is designed to engage high-value surface targets, including large warships and carrier-sized vessels at long range. The Type 052D has become the backbone of the PLA Navy's destroyer fleet, with around 35 vessels reported to be in active service. Reports said the Type 052D destroyer displaces roughly 7,500 to 7,700 tons and serves as one of China's principal surface combatants. The YJ-20 was previously confirmed aboard the Type 055 destroyer Wuxi during a reported missile test conducted in 2025. Combined, the Type 052D and Type 055 fleets now provide China with more than 40 potential shipborne launch platforms for the YJ-20. Deploying the missile across multiple warships could significantly expand China's long-range anti-ship strike coverage around Taiwan and nearby waters. Unlike fixed land-based launchers, warships can continuously change position, making potential missile launch points far harder to detect and track. The wider deployment could strengthen China's anti-access and area denial strategy across the first island chain during a regional conflict. However, the YJ-20's effectiveness against fast-moving carrier strike groups has not yet been demonstrated in actual combat conditions. Defense analysts said U.S. carrier groups would rely on layered air defense systems, electronic warfare, and interceptor missiles to counter such threats. The U.S. Air Force has approved a $4.5 billion plan to expand B-21 Raider production capacity by 25%, according to reports. Officials say the agreement is designed to speed up deliveries while keeping costs and performance on track. The expanded production line could support a much larger fleet, even though the official requirement remains at least 100 aircraft. The expansion was intentionally designed to allow higher procurement in the future if required. American strategists increasingly view the B-21 Raider as a critical weapon for any future conflict in the Pacific. Its combination of long-range and advanced stealth is seen as a major advantage against China. Reports suggest the Air Force is now studying a future fleet of around 200 B-21 Raiders. Military planners believe long-range bombers will play an even greater role as modern air warfare evolves. China's J-20 and future sixth-generation fighters are expected to outrange current American stealth fighters. The B-21 Raider is expected to enter operational service in 2027, years before America's first sixth-generation fighter. Current projections indicate U.S. sixth-generation fighters may not enter service until the 2040s. The new production agreement also keeps open the possibility of building a second B-21 assembly line. America's bomber fleet has shrunk dramatically since the Cold War, raising concerns about long-term force strength. Rising costs in the B-52J modernization program could ultimately push the Pentagon to purchase even more B-21 bombers. China's sixth-generation fighter program is surging ahead, with reports now confirming that a fifth prototype has already entered flight tests, signaling just how fast Beijing is moving. On July 23rd, new footage surfaced showing China flight testing what analysts say is the fifth prototype of its very heavy, ultra-long-range sixth-generation combat aircraft. Questions quickly grew over whether footage from an earlier sighting may have shown this same new aircraft, hinting that more prototypes could be flying than publicly acknowledged. The observed jet appeared somewhat different in shape and proportions, but poor image quality has clouded the full view and left analysts debating exactly what China has in the air. Chengdu currently builds the J-20, China's premier fifth-generation stealth fighter, which has quietly become the backbone of the country's high-end air combat fleet. The PLA Air Force is estimated to be acquiring between 100 and 120 new J-20s every year, a production tempo that far outpaces most Western fighter programs. As a result, around 500 J-20 fighters are now believed to be serving with China's Air Force, giving Beijing one of the largest stealth fleets anywhere in the world. Two distinct sixth-generation types are expected to eventually succeed the entire J-20 fleet, splitting China's future air dominance role between different mission sets. Chengdu is reportedly developing an ultra-long-range, ultra-heavy combat aircraft for China, designed to project air power far beyond the country's immediate neighborhood. Meanwhile, Shenyang is building a lighter, but still very heavy fighter type that appears closer to J-20 dimensions, potentially giving the PLA more flexibility in how it fields sixth-gen jets. The first Chengdu 6th generation prototype reportedly flew on December 26, 2024, marking the start of a test campaign that has progressed at remarkable speed. Within just months, at least 5 separate prototypes have already entered flight testing, suggesting a level of industrial and engineering focus rarely seen in modern fighter programs. Early service entry for these jets was once thought likely only in the early 2030s, in line with typical development timelines for such complex aircraft. Some analysts now estimate that operational deployment could happen as early as 2029 to 2030, shaving years off the original expectations if testing continues at this pace. This rapid prototype progress strongly suggests the program enjoys clear funding priority in Beijing, placing it at the very top of China's air power modernization agenda. An earlier deployment of China's sixth-generation fighters could significantly shift the military balance of power in East Asia, forcing neighbors and the US to rethink their own roadmaps. This new fighter program feeds directly into China's broader modernization of its aerial warfare capabilities, tying sensor, missile, and support networks into a single forward-leaning ecosystem. Beijing is simultaneously developing new satellites, long-range air-to-air missiles, next-generation AEW&C platforms and tankers, all of which are meant to complement these future fighters. Chengdu's 6th generation fighter is described as being designed for ultra-long-range missions across the Pacific, allowing China to project air power far from its home bases. The aircraft may be able to operate beyond regular AEW&C and tanker support coverage, forcing China to build more organic range and sensing into the jet itself. Refueling support may still be available near Chinese-controlled territory, giving the jet forward reach while keeping its logistical lifelines anchored closer to home. Its unusually large nose cone could potentially house what analysts speculate might be the world's largest dedicated air combat radar, dramatically increasing detection range and target tracking capacity. Such a powerful onboard radar may reduce China's dependence on separate airborne early warning aircraft, allowing the fighter itself to serve as a sensor node deep inside contested airspace. Combined with advanced stealth shaping and high agility, this sensor suite could dramatically improve the jet's chances of surviving inside hostile-controlled airspace while still prosecuting long-range missions.